Welcome back to Sosnovka Sovkhoz, episode 21, with me, Mr. Sealy P. Okay, so we now need the auto stacker, which we now own. We also need the bale wrapper, which we now own. And now we just go and collect them. Which tractor though? Actually, that's a good point. What? There's no horsepower requirement, is there? No. Zetor? Sammy or the Lamborghini? Let's know which ones I've used quite a lot of. Nope, we're going to go the Lamborghini. It's a big decision. I should go and collect probably the auto stacker first, bring that back. Avoiding any run-ins with traffic. Okay, so auto stacker collected. We'll bring this down and park it up, and then we'll whiz back and get the bale wrapper. Not quite sure how many bales we did in the end, but I want to split it in half hay bales, half silage bales. And actually, when I leave the Lamborghini on the auto stacker, I'll use one of the other tractors to go and get the bale wrapper. That way I haven't got to keep swapping tractors every time I'm moving something. So I'll use the Zetor. It really is growing on me. If you've watched any other episodes, and I encourage you to watch them, it is a noisy little tractor, but a proper tractor sound, and it is really growing on me. I do like it. But that will be doing the bale wrapping. So I think I'll probably start off wrapping some bales, working out roughly how many I've got, and then we'll just collect the rest and stack them up. We'll put them all over by the dairy farm. I'm going to put them in separate stacks apart from each other, so you shouldn't get too much lag. I mean, I haven't got hundreds of bales. There aren't that many, to be fair, so the lag shouldn't be horrendous. And because I'm playing in real time, I'm not going to get through mountains and mountains and mountains of bales. So realistically, what I've got should be enough. But there you go, the bale wrapper is doing its thing. It takes a little while, it's quite slow, the bale wrapper. I'm hoping on Farming Simulator 17, if we can download mods, I want to try and get a better baler. Probably a baler and wrapper all in one, if possible. I don't know if it will be. But we'll speed this up ever so slightly, as you can see. So that gives us about 8, I think, straight off the bat. That's at least one load on the auto stacker. And then I'll move to the auto stacker and probably start collecting up some hay bales. So I'm going to bounce between the two, work out as I'm going along roughly how many I've got and where I'm going to put them. So back in the Lamborghini, I'll open it up into its operating position. There we go. I'm not going to go with stacks of 8 because I do get a little bit wobbly. I'm probably going to stick with 6s, I think. That shouldn't be too bad. I was fair, I could do 4s. No, I'm going to do 6s. 2 stacks of 3. That's what I'll aim for. And then we'll work out where we're going to put them. Decisions. Right, so we're going to put them over here by the dairy farm. I've already got the trailer of straw bales, which I'm probably going to unload at some point and stack them up. I just wanted to use the trailer, give it a go. Oh, I suppose I could just leave them on, it doesn't matter. But I've got a lot of stuff here. So, with the magic of recording, I have tidied up a little bit and moved some of the equipment. So now we have a bit of space to put some bales. I'm going to stick the hay ones here, and probably the silage ones just the other side of the silage bay, just so they're all separate. I mean, you can put them all right on top of each other, it makes no difference. It's not like I'm going to mix them up, to be fair. They are relatively well separated by colour. I know they're all round, but the straw and the hay bales do look vastly different, and obviously the silage bales are wrapped, so I shouldn't mix them up. I'd be an idiot if I did, but anyway. And again, I'm back to that same problem with this particular map. Not a lot of barns, not a lot of storage. Whizzed through that rather rapidly. Anyway, skipped a little bit ahead. Yeah, there's nowhere indoors to put them. I haven't really got a barn I can put them in, and anywhere that you can put them inside, it's quite a long way away. I want them here at the farm. This is where I'm going to be using them. I don't want to have to be carting them miles. So that's the other thing. Farming Simulator 17. Fingers crossed for placeables for consoles as a download. Stick some extra barns and bits and bobs if you need them. It's quite a useful thing to be able to do, because storage on some of these maps is a little bit iffy. And I know it's a game, you know, it really doesn't matter if it pours with rain, the left outside, who cares, they'll still have the same effect. But for want of it being a little bit more realistic, it does say simulator on the packet. Anyway, right, silage bales, 6 collected, stick them this side of the silage bay. But we are getting there. When I think back however many episodes it was now, God, got to be loads, 10 maybe. Talking about cutting the grass and doing a second cut, and then, you know, that seemed like such a long time ago. I suppose it was, but okay, we're going to wrap some more then. I think I've got all the hay bales stacked up. I think I've got 14, I think it is, and it should work out, oh no, 15, I think, 15, and I think it'll work out 14 silage bales. So the rest of these will be silage bales, but I'm speeding this process along a little bit because it is quite a slow thing to do, and I will skip ahead. Voila. That is the last of the bales wrapped. So we'll fold this up and we'll put it away, ready for next time. If indeed there is a next time, depends obviously on real time how many of these bales I'm actually going to get through. Realistically, a lot of this equipment that's now sitting here I'm probably not going to use again on this gameplay series. I mean, I could keep on going indefinitely, I guess, and keep coming back to them, but I honestly don't know. With FS17 due out relatively soon, we'll see. I might still run a 15 and a 17, it depends. So we'll collect these up, stick another 6 on here, which should then leave me with 2 left. Put them with the other ones. Right, awesomely fiddly reversing. I'm trying to line them up as straight as I can, but it doesn't always quite work out that way. Just as a bit of advice, always try to make sure your tractor and trailer are lined up directly straight one behind the other for when you finish unloading. So when you pull away, you're driving directly forwards. Because often, especially with the square bales as well, if you pull away at an angle, it can pull the stack over. I'm sure I said that when I did. If you look back on my how-to videos, I'm pretty sure on the one about baling, I probably mentioned it on there. But if you haven't watched it, bit of advice. try and stay as straight as you possibly can. That way they don't go all over the place. But that's the last 2 silage bales. I think that's all the bales off the fields now. So we've got 29 bales off those 2 fields. That's not bad, actually, to be fair. Right. Put the auto stacker away. Again, ready for next time. If there is a next time. But it is there. Anyway, we've bought it, we own it. There is a lot to be said for the rental mod on PC versions, because it does mean you can do a lot of this stuff without having to build up a massive head of money, especially if you're playing in real time. But alas, on consoles at present we can't do that. Okay, so baling's done, bales are sorted. I've got all 3 kinds. Cow's productivity is at 44% at the moment. I do need to do some mixed ration. I've only got 25 cows, to be fair. So, my 25 cows. This is a little bit later. I'm back on the game again, so the productivity is probably going to show as 0 at the moment, rather than 44%, but that's what it was on before. The silage bay is fermenting, but I don't know what it's on, actually. I will check it. I think it does the speediest bit of its fermenting in the evening, when it's sort of hottest. The heat builds up over the day. 44, does that say 44 as well? How bizarre. Okay, so about just over 40%. A little bit to go on that before I can use the silage, but I can do mixed ration now. So they've got grass, they've got straw. I can do mixed ration. I suppose I could just stick a silage bale. Right, I need a feeder wagon, and I'm going to get the self-propelled one because I find it incredibly useful and straightforward to use. And here it is. What a beauty. So around the front we have got the collection part, the blades, the rotor draws it up the tube and into the back. That's our offload chute, if you want to call it that. Beacon on the back, ladder upside to check your container. You can offload either side. The capacity of 12,000 litres, which means 1 of each bale, because they're 4,000 each, gives you your mixed ration. Yeah, handy bit of kit to have. It's expensive, 116,000, so if you haven't got a huge amount of money, maybe buying the trailer one, the trailed one is better. Lift up that front header so I don't catch it on anything. And here we are, back at the farm, ready to load it up. So what I would do is lift up that striped section at the front of the header, so that when I do start doing silage, I can collect it at an angle, not directly down. And that's where the magic happens, in the back there. 1 of each bale, 12,000 litres. That will churn it all up in there, ready to give it to the cows. So we'll jump in the telehandler. The New Holland one. Do like this one. It's nice. I'm looking forward to FS17 for the Manitou. That's going to be quite cool. Having a lot of different machinery is going to make it a bit more interesting. So make sure I hook this up at the right angle so it doesn't catapult the front of the telehandler up in the air. Just adjust the head angle. There we go. And with a little click, it's on. Brilliant. I still haven't bought a tractor with a front loader yet, which I need to do. I will do anyway for doing the sheep, because I will need either pallet forks or bale spikes for moving the pallets around. I know bale spikes aren't the done thing, but as I've said on previous videos, if you haven't seen them, I'll keep saying it, go check them out. I find it easier using the bale spikes. I have been using various different equipment for tasks other than what they were intended. For a lot of the forestry stuff, I'm using the manure fork instead of the log fork, but it works better. Oh, wobbly trailer. Don't bounce any of those off. Get that off quick. it's not going to be perfect, so I'll just put it down as long as it's off the trailer. Yeah, I do need to unload that trailer probably, especially if I'm using the wrap bale grabber. Right, get hold of this a bit better. Realign myself. Not that it's going to fall out between here and the mixer wagon, but okay, let's get this up. I need to get into the habit of transporting them lower down, then lifting when I get near the objects. You wouldn't drive around with it so high off the ground because of the balance of it. But first, bale into the mixer. Straw. Not that it's got much to mix up, it's just one thing. Now we'll stick in a hay bale. And we'll be 2/3 of the way to our first load of mixed ration for the cows. Without knocking the stack over. I do have to be careful with the controls on this because I find as I'm trying to open and close the actual bale grab, I have a tendency to push the arm forwards or backwards and I knock stacks over. So, second bale in, hay bale. In it goes. There we go, so now we are getting more like our mixed ration that we need. Last but by no means least, silage bale. Now what you can do at this point, if you've got silage ready to go in the silage bay, rather than dropping the silage bale in, if you haven't made any silage bales, you can use the silage directly out of the silage bay. You can do that by picking up with a front loader and a bucket, or a wheel loader and a bucket. Or if you've got the self-propelled mixer, because it's got the collector on the front, the straw, siphon, whatever you want to call it, the brush, you can drive into it and it will suck it up and take it into there. So you don't always have to use silage bales. I tend to use bales for the mixed ration, and when I'm just doing silage I'll just go from the silage bay. So that's it, 12,000 litres full mixed ration. We'll get our first load in and give it to the cows. Right, so yeah, it was on 44%, as I said, because I've started the game again. I'm recording on a different time. It's showing productivity as 0. It was at 44%, and we do need to put in our mixed ration. Now, because I put grass in this trough already, realistically I probably would have saved this trough for mixed ration and silage, and I should have put grass in the trough out in the field. So what I'll do from now on is any grass I'll put in the trough out in the field, and this trough will be for mixed ration and silage. It's only because when I was feeding earlier on in the episodes, right back when, way back when, right back when, whichever, it was just easier to stick it in there. So one load in, 12,000 litres. I will do another load, just so they got a little bit there. They're not at full capacity on any of the stuff I've given them yet. When you do reach full capacity, it comes up with a message saying they have enough to feed them for 6 days, which if you're playing on real time, 6 days worth of gameplay is a long time, that you haven't got to worry about redoing all this again. Anyway, we'll speed this up a little bit, because I'm slow at doing it. It won't seem particularly quick, but anyway, get the second load in. Okay. Last bale. Another full load. We'll leave it at 2. I won't do a third load. I don't know if it would take an entire third load actually. Because the amount of cows I've got. Park that up. Its job is done for the time being. And we'll stick in our second load. Pouring out of the offload chute. I'll leave that part up in here because other than putting straw in here, which I have to do for a little while, I can always move it out of the way. At least it's under cover, it's out of the way. So we've just under 24,000 litres in there. Productivity is still saying 0, so we'll have to bump back a little while and have a look and see what it's telling us, but not bad. Just silage to give them and they'll have everything that they need, apart from water, which is, yeah, again, it's a weird one, but never mind. What I am going to do is top the grass up, make sure they've got as much of that as they can do. And what I'll probably do as well is use the forage wagon. And I think there's a strip of grass I left down the side of field 23 a while back. I'm just going to go and pick that up. It won't fill up the forage wagon, but it'll be off the field anyway. At least it's in the forage wagon. In real life you wouldn't leave these forage wagons full of stuff. The same as grain augers and those kind of things. They get damp. If you leave them for long periods of time it would start to rot in there as well. And it would be pretty disgusting. So get the angle just right and I'll put the grass from now on into this feed trough at the back end of the field. Hasn't taken a huge amount, but at least they're topped up. They've got all the grass they need. And I will go over to the side of field 23 and collect up the last of the grass that was cut over there. And here we are. The canola is ready to harvest in this field as well, in 23, so that'll probably be in the next episode I would imagine. Probably do the canola harvest to get that done. I still haven't bought the potato harvester. Speed this up a little bit and get through it quickly. Off we go. Yeah, I haven't quite got enough. I think it's 479,000 for the potato harvester. So I'll either do the canola harvest or I might do a bit more logging off screen over at the lumber yard. So I've got enough money to buy that and still have a little bit left over. I don't want to buy it and clean myself out completely. But the field over there, 25, is growing nicely. And that's it. That's the last of the grass that I cut, again, way back when, in the early episodes. I'll take this back over and park it up. This has been a slightly longer episode. Thank you for sticking with it. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll move on to a few bits in the next episode. Give us a like, subscribe, comment if you want to, whatever you choose to do. Thanks for watching.